going on? This is my English project, and today I'm going to be interviewing my dad because I feel like he has experiences to share. All right, Dad, tell the camera about yourself.
So I'm John. I'm John's father, and I do have some experiences to share. May not be the best ones, but for what I got, I think it's pretty cool.
In this book, Tuesdays with Maury, he's an older man, and he shares his knowledge with a younger man.
I've never heard of the movie, but I would love to know more about what you have to share about it.
All right, so one of my favorite quotes is, "Don't let go too soon, but don't hold on too long." How do you feel about this quote, and how do you feel about Maury's wisdom?
I feel as though his wisdom is pretty spot on. Sometimes we don't know when to let go, or we don't know if it's going to be too soon. So I think his wisdom is pretty good, and I think those are the words to live by.
All right, Dad, what are 2 lessons you realized in high school that you wish you knew now?
Well, one lesson that I know now that I wish I knew early on during high school would be to know my pace and stay humble. I think knowing your pace while you're journeying through life and appreciating moments as they come about are definitely good experiences and definitely good times to want to appreciate. So knowing the pace, just know what speed you should be at, knowing how to be, and when you need to pick it up a little bit, pick it up a little bit. When you need to pull it back, pull it back.
How did you learn it?
I think I learned it through my own personal weight loss journey, because sometimes I know I need to really vamp it up, and then there are other times that I need to bring it down a little bit. So through knowing my pace and knowing my speed, I'm able to hold a consistent pace. And when I need to kick myself in the butt a little bit, I do it. And when I can pull back, I do.
And how do you use that lesson now?
Well, I know now when I need to work with you guys, you and your brother, or I need to work a little harder at work or around the house, I know I need to, put it into 10th gear. When I'm able to enjoy my Sundays, I'll pull it into 2nd gear.
All right, so what would have been different if you knew that lesson as a teenager?
I think if I knew that lesson as a teenager, I wouldn't have tried to work so hard at everything that I've done. I felt as though that I needed to always prove something to myself. So I was always in that top gear, trying to always prove to myself that I could do it. It's not a bad thing, but I also didn't stop to smell the roses, if you would.
So what's your second life lesson?
My second life lesson would be to never give up on your dreams. And I know it sounds a little cliche, but if I gave up on my dreams earlier on in my life and I didn't pursue them, I wouldn't have ended up or be where I am today. And what I mean by that is, so when I was younger, I had this vision of always owning a coffee internet shop. This is way before Starbucks became popular, and before coffee shops even became something of an interest. But I knew internet was pretty cool, and everybody was going to these little places like hotspots. So I always wanted to open up an internet cafe. That thinking led into me wanting to open a food truck, maybe 20 years later. And if I had given up on my dreams and lost focus of that, I wouldn't have been that successful as I was when I was in business. Whatever, COVID took place, and that's what stopped everything. But I was at a point where I didn't give up on my dream, and I continued to pursue it, and I'm glad I did. And I think a lot of mistakes that a lot of people make is, they may not see the dream coming to life, but they give up a little too soon, and then the dream just becomes faded because sometimes the goals don't match what they're shooting for, and they lose focus. And sometimes it just takes a little dedication and grit to work hard and keep that focus alive for that dream to come true.
All right, so tell me what it was like achieving something you've always dreamt of achieving.
It made me feel successful. It made me feel fulfilled on a work understanding on things. It put a lot of my training, a lot of my development, a lot of my coaching into place. So it made me feel successful as a person to know that everything that I've taken away from years of education and learning and development came to life for me.
Thank you for sharing your experiences, and this is definitely relatable to the book we're reading.
You're welcome, and I'm glad to share my experiences with you, and I hope I have more to give to you.
In this interview, I definitely learned that it took my dad a lot of hard work and a lot of effort and consistency to open up and manage his own business, and it definitely felt really cool being able to interview him and learn things from him.